Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Brews. Today it is about Koma the World Eater, and I just want to give you 5 cards, maybe 6, that are just going to show some things about Koma that you should probably consider when you're deck building the giant legendary serpent. I played a Koma a lot, so I feel like I know her pretty well. After reading this commander from the MTG Foundation set, it's a tad bit different, just a tad bit enough. It might be a little bit focused more on the combat era, combat phase, excuse moi. So, hey, let's get right into it. I'm just going to make the screen a little bit larger so we can read the commander's abilities, and I'm going to give you 5 cards, maybe 6, some things you can do. Let's get into it. First of all, for 7 mana, 2 green, 2 blue, 3 colors is at the top. I erased it by accident. But anyway, it is an 8/12 legendary serpent. The spell can't be countered. Koma has trample, ward 4. So if an opponent tries to Swords of Plowshare, destroy it, kill it, exile it, whatever, it costs 4 mana for them to do that. Also, whenever Koma deals combat damage to a player, create 4 3/3 blue serpent creature tokens named Koma's Coil. In the previous slide, that's what Koma's Coil looked like. So, what do we got to do here? Let's unpack it. Seriously, when you play this, it can't be countered. That is a great feeling. That means when it hits the board, it hits the board. There's no previous answer before an opponent has an answer. It's got trample, so you know what? We're going in with combat damage, right? 8/12. That's a monstrous creature. That's what green does. That's what Simic does. But this time, when we deal combat damage to a player, no matter how many blockers they got, if they got less than 8, they're taking at least 1 damage, and we're creating 4 3/3 blue serpent creature tokens named Koma's Coil. Yeah. So we're making tokens here, but on combat, after combat. That's why I'm saying that. So, Irinex's Vial Duplication for 4 mana. It's a sorcery. It says create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except the token that's flying, and it isn't legendary if that creature is legendary. The reason why I've been harping on combat, because hey, what's better than 1 Koma? 2 Komas. Except for this one's not legendary, so my Koma will not die to the legendary rule. And this one's probably even better. It has trample. And honestly, if you're a throwback Magic player, it reminds me of a creature card called the Swallow or something like that. It was like a Simic creature, 6/6, with some crazy stuff, trample flying. So pretty much you're making that creature. I should find that one day. Yeah, so it's like if you create a copy of Koma, it's like giving it Red Bull wings. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's something you can do. This is the most important card I'm going to share in this video. And the mechanics behind it makes it the most important card also. This is a battle card. If you don't know what a battle card is, an enchantment that you give to another player. And what happens is your goal or your opponent's goals is to attack the battle. And when you attack the battle flips. So, Invasion of Segovia for 3 mana has 4 counters on it, right? So you attack it with Koma. It has 8 damage, 8 power. It's going to easily destroy. And it's got trample. It's easy, easy. Anyway, when Invasion of Segovia enters the battlefield, create 2/1/1 blue Kraken creatures tokens with trample. Okay, so we're creating 2 Kraken creatures with trample. Now, I'm about to lead into the mechanic here. Let's lead into it. So it becomes Caetus, Sea Tyrant of Segovia. It's a legendary serpent on a 3/3 body. It says non-creature spells you cast have convoke. Convoke is when you tap a creature. Okay, excuse me. Your creatures can help cast those spells. Each creature you tap while casting a non-creature spell pays for 1 colorless or 1 mana of that creature's color. Okay, we're making we put in 2 blue Krakens, right? So that gives us 2 cards, pretty much 2 blue mana or 2 colors. Also, this card says, at the beginning of your end step, untap up to 4 target creatures. Ironically, with Koma, we create 4 3/3 Koma's Coil. So guess what? What we're doing here is we are creating a mana dork for all of our creatures. And that's even better. Ultimately, we want to end up casting spells for free. So not only Koma is swinging for commander damage, you have a wide board state. There are 3/3s, there are 1/1s. You have the ability to give anthems. But guess what? We can make it even more powerful by making our creatures mana dorks and activating counter spells, uh, one-sided board wipes instantaneously just by tapping creatures. That's what makes Koma powerful, where you always have an answer and extra sources of mana. So, back to anthems. Anthems are effects that boost the power of your creatures. Obelisk of Urd is a 6 mana artifact. It has Convoke. We're still on this Convoke thing, tapping our creatures to pay for it. Literally, you can tap 6 creatures max and pay nothing for this spell. As Obelisk of Urd enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control the chosen type get +2/+2. You can choose serpents. So all the Koma coils that you created and Koma itself get +2/+2. So those Koma coils are 5/5s. 5/5s. Koma becomes a 10/14. You're swinging for commander damage with this Koma. It's game over. Now, I think this is a very sneaky card right here. Monsterous Onslaught for 5 mana. It's a sorcery. Monsterous Onslaught deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control as you cast this spell. Koma has power of 8. For 5 mana, you can do 8 damage, and this is a pseudo burn spell. So you can target as many creatures as you want. 8/1/1s, uh, maybe a power creature of 6, then a 2/2. For 5 mana, that's really good. And this does this in green. So what I really like about this card, you're not even using the fight mechanic. You're just burning creatures. That's why this card is really good. And I don't think this card is talked about enough. Yo, yo, yo. Okay. This Fallout set, I think, has a lot of really good cards. This Silver Shroud costing for 2 mana is crazy. It's an artifact equipment with flash, meaning you can cast it at any time. When it enters the battlefield, attaches to target creature you control. Okay, that creature gains Shroud until end of turn. So that means it can't be the target of spells or abilities. So this is an answer when an opponent tries to destroy Koma after they pay the ward 4. You're just breaking their heart at this point, right? But what's really good is after. Equipped creature can't be blocked. So that following turn, you got an 8/12 minimum swinging for commander damage. Okay. If somebody decides to blow up the board wipe, destroy all creatures, the equip cost is 3, and that's not bad. That's not bad. But what's really good about this card is not only does it make your creature unblockable, you're able to re-equip it with other equipments, right? So Shroud was only for that one turn, but Shroud usually says, hey, you can't target this at all. And if it was permanently on the creature, you would not be able to attach auras or equipments to Koma. So that's why I like this one-time Shroud at Flash with instant speed. So thank you for making this far to the video. This is a really good card. This card I'm telling you is just because I played with Koma a lot. A little control deck. Actually, it's a nasty control deck. The first Koma I'm talking about. But this card and this mechanic, I freaking love it. If you never played it, your opponents are on the edge, and you want that feeling. Spectral Deluge for 6 mana, sorcery. It says return each creature your opponents control with toughness X or less to its owner's hand, where X is the number of islands you control. If you have 6 islands on the battlefield, and remember, Koma costs 8 mana, or 7 mana. You got a lot of islands. You better have a lot of islands. Anyway, you cast it for 6 mana, not that great. But it has the foretell cost here. To foretell a card, you pay 2 and exile this card. And on a later turn, you pay the foretell cost, which is only 3 mana. To do this effect for only 3 mana, and you have Koma out on the battlefield, and you have at least, example, 6 islands, all your opponent's creatures that are 6/6 or whatever power, then 6 toughness, and less is removed from the battlefield. You literally have a clear board state to swing with Koma, the World Eater. So, foretell cards, I'm always going to talk about these cards. You invest early, like your early mid game, then at the right point in time, the cheaper casting cost, the foretell cost, is way more efficient. Maximize your turns. So yeah, thank you again for making it this far to the video. If you liked it and you want to see more deck text or more 5 cards, quick ideas on deck brewing, make sure you let me know in the comment section. Also subscribe. So hey man, peace out. Talk to y'all soon. If you'd like to see a deck tech, let me know in the comments below. Koma World Eater deck tech.